Welcome to your first lesson in Google Sheets. We're going to start off by kind of giving an overview of what you're going to learn today, and then I will present you the lesson. So first, what I'm going to be teaching you is one, how to open up Google Sheets, how to rename the document, and also how to rename the sheets. I'm going to teach you the basics of the environment of Google Sheet, what a row is, what a column is, what a cell is, how to use the formatting toolbar, how to use the formatting shortcuts. I'm also going to teach you how to enter information, formats text, numbers, borders, shading, and lastly, I'm going to teach you how to prepare the document for printing. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is open up Google Sheets. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go to New, and then you're going to choose Google Sheets. I want to make sure that you understand, though, I am in my Drive. So I'm in my Drive. So once you get in your Drive, you're going to go to, once again, New, Google Sheets. And it opens up a brand new Google Sheet for you. Many of you guys have probably done this in other classes, but today we're going to learn the basics of the environment, how it works, how to change certain things. So you're noticing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way till infinity. And then the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. So the A through G and beyond are what we call columns. And columns are vertical. They go vertically, up and down. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and continuing on are called rows. Now, where they intercept, these little boxes, we call them cells. So we identify them, the cells, by where they're located from the column and row. So for instance, this particular cell is located in column A, row 1. So we would say to the cell, you are A1. That's the name of the cell. Now if we go down here and we click randomly here, we are in column C, row 7. So this is C7. And this is important when we start doing our formulas in Excel, that you know the location of each cell. And up here, we have a few other things going on here. Now we have what's called a formatting toolbar shortcuts. And these are just shortcuts you can do to do different things. And when those things don't work, we have a pull down menu bar in which we can see different options. The one we'll be using mostly in this class will be format. And that's when we'll learn how to actually format certain things when we can't use the shortcut bar. So let's get started real quick here. First thing we're going to do is teach you how to actually name your Google Sheets document. Up here in the upper left-hand corner where it says Untitled Spreadsheet, this is where you actually name your document. So for this class, what the teacher is going to ask you is to first put your last name. Then put a comma, then your first name, followed by the assignment name. In this case, we're going to call it Demo 1. Now, for those of you guys who learn better by doing, you can copy me along, open up your own Google Sheets and do this, while others of you can just watch and learn. Now, please understand that your teacher doesn't actually want the word last name. So if your last name is Johnson, then I would put Johnson, and you get the gist. Now, so we've named the document. So when you turn this document to your teacher, they will see your last name, your first name, followed by the assignment name. Now down here on the bottom, we have something called Sheet 1. Now we are going to rename this particular thing into something where we're going to actually be using. So what we would do is we would right click there and go rename. And we are going to match this with what we call the spreadsheet title. And the spreadsheet title we'll come to in a second here, but the spreadsheet title for this spreadsheet we'll call it Miller Incorporated. So what you've done is you've renamed a document, and you've also matched the sheet name to the spreadsheet title. Now, this is important only because as you're doing this further on in real world, we could add more spreadsheets, and we'll be doing that as we come along. We're going to keep doing it more and more and more. But as right now, I'm just giving you just the bare bones of just this is how we do it. So let's come back up here, and we're going to type in the word Miller Incorporated in cell A1. Miller Incorporated is just the name of our company. It could be anything we want. And then I'm going to pop down to A3. And I'm going to create just a simple spreadsheet. So I'm going to use the words name. These are what we call column headings. And I'm going to keep repeating these words, spreadsheet title and column headings, because it's important as per the formatting and how you do certain things. So we put week 2, and we'll just put week 3. Let's just say these are the hours that people worked. And our employees' names are going to be you, me, and them. And we'll put in some random numbers of 25, 35, 40, 17, 30, 34, 35, 25, 27. So I'm just randomly making these numbers up. So I've created a spreadsheet for the company Miller Incorporated. These are the name of our employees. This is how many hours they worked in week 1, week 2, week 3. Now, I'm going to put down some column headings that we're not going to use yet. We're going to use in the next video, but just to kind of give you preset to what we'll be doing. So column headings here would be like the word total. So how many total hours do they work? Because that's kind of important to get paid. And then lastly, we want to know what's the average. What was the average that everyone worked? And down here, we would put something like total, average, highest, lowest, and we're going to count. So now what I've done is I've created just a basic, simple spreadsheet here. Okay, I want to review some vocabulary quick. This up here, Miller Incorporated, we call this the spreadsheet title because this is what the title of the spreadsheet is. Name, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 3. Total and average are what we call column headings. I make sure you understand. Spreadsheet title, column headings. We're going to come back to this. I'm going to keep reminding you what those are so you understand what they're. These ones right now have no title. They just go below the column headings. This is below the column heading of name, but what we're actually doing is doing other commands. So we've done some basic stuff like that. So now let's actually start to do something with the spreadsheet. So the first thing I want to do is take the spreadsheet title and I want to put it all the way across from row A all the way to column A to column F. So what I could do first is I'll highlight all these cells. And in doing so, I'm going to go to the formatting toolbar shortcut, and as you move your mouse up here, you'll see that it tells you what it's going to do. And as we move across, one of them says merge cells, and it also has a pull down as well. We say merge horizontally, merge all. In this case, it doesn't really matter because you can merge vertically as well. But if you already highlight the cells, it'll do it the way you want it to do. So we are going to merge horizontally, but I'll just click on merge all. And what it did is it created A1 and it basically gobbled up B1, C1, D1. They're gone. They're no longer there. However, that doesn't look correct to me. So I want to make sure I merge and center. So when I highlight it again, you notice that A1 now is highlighted all the way across. So if I want to center them, I once again go over here next to that, and I can choose center. So on the formatting bar, I can choose center. Now, those two options are also up here where we also can say merge cells and align. Like I told you, they're also available up here in this pull down toolbar. So you have two options. And this, once again, reminder, spreadsheet title. Now what we're going to do is we're going to format the column headings. And typically this is what you're going to do in the assignments. They'll say you can bold, center, italicize, all that stuff. So right here are our cheats. These are the shortcuts. Strike through, we can add text color, which is not going to be part of the assignment, but they gave me basically two things, bold and italicize. So let's say I wanted you to bold and underline. So I can click here and go bold, and I go, well, where's the underline? Remember, it's under format, and there is underline. And if it tells me to format it like this, and also center align it, up here in the shortcut toolbar, I can go over here, pull down, say I want to center align it, and there you go. And reminder, as we do those things, you also have that ability right here, format, under align, you have the same options. Okay. So that formatting also goes for the numbers as well. We can format these. Typically in your assignments, I will not ask you to do that, but just understand you could do that. Alignment also works with the numbers. We can center align the numbers if you want to. We are not asking you to do very much of that, but make sure you do read the instructions as you move through. Now, another thing I'm going to do is we are going to do some formatting here. So let's highlight these numbers here. And I want to change them a little bit. I want to just make them a little bit different than what they were. So I have options here. Now, for the numbers, I have currency, percent. I can increase decimal places, decrease decimal places, or I have options for more formats down here. So in this case, these are just hours. And hours, I'm going to probably say, okay, you know what I want to do? I want to add like a point something, like, 25 point something. And if I want to just do that, I can just increase my decimal places to one place. I also have that option down here where I have more formats. And I can see, as I said, custom formats, and it gives me more formats as well. And I can even change it right here if I wish to what I want it to look like. So you do have different options. And once again, these are right here. And then lastly, just to remind you, we can go to format, we can go to number, and you have the same options as you do right here. So there's different ways to do this. So we can format our numbers. We can also, if we choose to, and this is not applicable to this assignment, but if I want to change this to currency style, I can do that. Now there's another one called accounting style. It's not on there, but if you pull down here, accounting style is right here. And lastly, if I wanted to, we can make it back to just a basic plain number and go back to one decimal place, and we're back to where we started from. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you some basic shading. And what you're going to notice in all your spreadsheets is that where we want you to do the formulas for the spreadsheets, there will be shading. So where we'll be doing formulas in the next set of instructions will be right here. We're going to put some numbers in here. We're going to get some math going on here. So how do I actually shade that? So on the shortcut toolbar, you're going to see one looks like a paint. And when I click on fill color, I have a whole bunch of colors. Now, on the assignments, we're going to use just, gray, but you can use any color you want. But so let's just use gray. So there's a gray there. And then these ones right here, we're going to fill those in. And then we're also going to choose just a simple gray. Hopefully I picked the same one. I did okay. So now we're all ready for our last step. How do I prepare my document for printing? So there's a couple things we're going to do. One, we're going to scale the document. We're going to format the alignment of the document when it prints to be centered both vertically and horizontally. And lastly, we're going to add a custom header. So here's how you do it. It's a little bit different in Sheets. We're going to click on File. And then we're going to go down to Print. But we're not actually going to print. And so then I see what I would print. Now on my right-hand side here, I have some things I can do. So I can say See Custom, where I can say margins, fit to, all that stuff. So right here, we're going to fit to width, fit to height, fit to page. So we can change fit to page. That means no matter how big this is, it will fit to the page. So once again, scale, fit to page. And then we're going to go down here to formatting. Now, I want this spreadsheet to be centered both horizontally and vertically. So I choose horizontally is already centered. Now what goes down here vertically, I go here, and I go center, and now you'll see that the spreadsheet is both centered horizontally and vertically, and it fits perfectly in the middle. And lastly, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do custom headers. Now I click on that and I go down here and I said I can edit custom header fields. Let me go once again. It's right below what we did before, and if you want to, you can close up these menus to make them easier. So header and footers, we click right here, and we go down to edit custom fields, and we can go right here. We can say, for instance, you can type in your name right here. You can choose such things as the page number, which we're not worried about in here, the title. So we can say, what's the spreadsheet title? Which what we'll be doing is the sheet title. We'll actually give you the spreadsheet title. So let's say sheet title. And then right here, we'll choose something like, you can say the date. So we did is put our name, the spreadsheet title. And once again, when I did that, if you want to, the shortcut is just to do the sheet name because that's what we changed it to. Oops, I did it twice, so I'll delete that other one. And then the date. And the date, it's optional, whichever way you want to do it. And we press confirm. Now doing that, you notice that's my name, Miller Incorporated, and the date. We don't hit, you can hit next if you want, but once you've done this, now you can go next. It'll say, do you want to print? And you go, no, thank you, do not want to print. Now there's one last skill I forgot to teach you, but I want to do at the very end is we're missing lines. Now these lines you see, they're not going to appear. So how you do this, you're going to highlight the whole spreadsheet as it is. And right next to the paint bucket, there is something called borders. And for our sake, we're going to choose all borders. And there it is. There's your spreadsheet. So once again, keep in mind what you've learned today is 1, how to open up your Google Sheet. 2, how to name it in the upper left-hand corner, how to rename the sheet name to the spreadsheet title. You learned the basics of the environment, the shortcut keys, the shortcuts, and then also the pull-down menu. You've also learned how to enter information. You learned what the spreadsheet title was, where it's located, and where are the column headings. We learned how to format our numbers, format our words and letters, and also how to prepare this document for printing. If you need to, go back and review the document.